Dr. Viren is going to talk about the power of place. I mean, hospitality and tourism is a big industry and leader in our region. We really want to make sure we address that and talk about it and hear the latest of what's happening. It'll be followed by Senator John Laird right after Dr. Viren. Paige.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I am the Executive Director for the Sustainable Hospitality and Tourism Management Program here at Cal State Monterey Bay. And I want to start off by saying I am extremely hopeful. I'm originally from the Midwest. I moved to California about 4 years ago, and I am amazed at this destination. I like to say this is the perfect living lab to study hospitality and tourism. My goal is to educate and inspire students about careers in hospitality and tourism. And contrary to popular belief, there are great jobs, and it is a good life being in this career. So dovetailing on the panel discussion, I'm hopeful. I was told I have 10 minutes to speak, and that's kind of a dangerous thing to give to an academic or a professor. We're usually just getting warmed up in 10 minutes, but I'll kind of get right to it to talk about place and purpose and about hospitality and tourism as an economic engine. Every minute really matters when we're talking about that. These industries don't just welcome travelers. They power communities, they create jobs, spark entrepreneurship, and sustain the character of the very places people come to experience. And when it's done right, hospitality and tourism aren't just about economic impact, they're about economic purpose, aligning growth with stewardship and prosperity and sense of place. So when I talk about sense of place, I'm talking about more than geography or economics. It's really about values and connection and belonging. And I learned about this concept when I was a professor at East Carolina University. I worked there for 10 years. And my mentor and friend, Dr. Pat Long, introduced me to a book called Beyond the Mythic West. It's a collection of essays, and one of those essays is by Charles Wilkinson. And it's about this concept of connection and place. And there's a whole body of literature around sense of place. And it really resonated with me because I'm sure all of you can think of some place that is special to you. Maybe it's here. You know, I can think of being in northern Wisconsin with my family and smelling the pine trees and the feel of the air, or being around the lakes. And no matter what, if I'm driving somewhere that has that kind of connection, I feel like I'm back in that place. So think about some place that's kind of special to you. And that essay is not just about, or this quote that is actually paraphrased from that, it's not just about the beauty of the place, it's about our responsibility to live in ways that care for it. And I think we can all relate to that. So obviously tourism is a big economic engine for our region. I mean, around the world, 1 in 10 jobs are actually related to tourism, to the economic impact of tourism. So that's pretty important. Tourism is one of the most powerful economic engines in our region. It contributes $3.1 billion in visitor spending and supports nearly 28,000, 28,000. Why does it not sound like I'm saying that right? Across Monterey County. A lot of jobs, basically, is what it is. 310 million in state and local taxes. And really what that means beyond those numbers, it really connects people. It links the residents, businesses, and visitors through shared experiences and that shared sense of place. When we do it right, tourism isn't just the economic impact. It's about creating values and strengthening the communities. It protects the environment and really celebrates who we are. So since tourism is a powerful economic engine, as we all know, but like an engine, if it runs too hot for too long, it can burn out. So we need to make sure that we are protecting, wait, if I go ahead. Yes, this is the slide that I wanted to be on. Success can sometimes strain the very places that we love the most. When we see overcrowded parks, housing shortages, as we've talked about today, workforce challenges, and the environmental pressures that come along with high visitation, we really need to think about the importance of balance. And with my students, I like to use this analogy of a three-legged stool, that tourism done right actually balances the economy with the environment as well as the culture of the places. And when one leg weakens, right, the whole system becomes unstable, and that's where this idea, this concept of ethic of place becomes our compass. It reminds us to grow responsibly, to protect what makes our destination special, and to ensure that prosperity and preservation help move us forward. These are some pictures from some of our we call them sustainability spotlights, where we actually go out into the community and have experiences where our students can learn about what's going on in our community, what kind of responsible business practices our industry partners are enacting. So at Cal State Monterey Bay, we are actually educating the next generation of leaders, not just in hospitality, but in place and stewardship. Our program builds that talent engine that fuels the regional economy. What makes our approach unique is that we weave sustainability into everything we do. And oftentimes when we say sustainability, people are thinking reduce, reuse, recycle. They're thinking about LEED certified. Oftentimes we forget about the people part of sustainability, and that's making sure that jobs are good paying jobs for people, that we're making sure that people are compensated fairly, that we are offering access to people, breaking down barriers. So when I talk about sustainability, please think beyond the idea of just reduce, reuse, recycle, which are super important, but also the people part of that. Our students don't just learn how to run a business, they learn how to balance profitability with responsibility, understanding the great destinations thrive when the economy, the environment, and the community are healthy. In short, we're not just preparing students to graduate and have jobs, we're preparing leaders of place who understand that caring for people and caring for place are one in the same. We can't really do this without our partners, and I think that's one of our largest strengths, that we really have a great group of industry partners who are willing to support our students and help prepare them to be the leaders who care about both people and place. Through our partnerships with local businesses and organizations, students take on real-world projects that strengthen both our workforce and our region. Premier hospitality programs like Cornell University, for instance, or even UNLV, they have hotels at their schools. They have restaurants at their schools. We could aspire, if we had somebody give us a big donation, we could aspire to have that. But I don't think that's the route to go, because our students are actually working in businesses here that leads to having networks with people in our community. They're being part of the community right off the bat. So I'm excited that we don't have that on campus, because you are the living lab for our students. So those partnerships are super important. Together, we're really building a skilled and resilient workforce ready to lead the future of tourism. And as we look ahead, we must keep that power of place at the heart of our economy. And with Cal State Monterey Bay graduates leading the way, our region can really be a model, I think, of place-powered prosperity that really, truly works. So what can we kind of do? When we talk about sustainability and the future of tourism, it really comes down to one simple idea: caring for our people and our places. And that's what really, truly powers prosperity in our region. And we do that by supporting by you all supporting student internships, high-impact student experiences. You know, we want students to stay, we want them to finish. If they don't feel connected, that's not going to happen. So taking a group of students out and having them do a site visit somewhere, they're talking to one another. They're building those networks that really makes it important for them to actually finish school so we don't have kind of those drop-off rates. We do that by helping give students a sense of purpose and connection and helping them celebrate where we live, because it is truly amazing. And I was at a conference years ago, and a woman who was from Africa was talking about a nice place to live is a nice place to visit, and that's kind of been my mantra. So it's like inviting somebody into your home. You're gonna make sure things are clean and tidy, the refrigerator is full of all the good things. We want it to be that way, but we also want our guests to be respectful. So if we kind of have that as our mantra, I think we can balance that. Sometimes, oh, there's too many tourists here, right? We're welcoming them because it actually helps minimize our tax costs, right? When we have people spending their visitor dollars here. So as the saying goes, a nice place to live is a nice place to visit. And when we collectively invest in both people and place, we're not just growing tourism, we're strengthening our communities that make this region really special. So we are also celebrating our 10-year birthday come 2016. So we're a pretty young program. We kicked off in 2015 was the first year for our program. So I'm really proud of all the accomplishments that we've had as a program in the last 10 years. That's a baby program, I like to say. So I love that we're celebrating together with MBEP, their birthday, and I appreciate you listening to me. If you want to reach out, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to chat with you and connect students with you, opportunities, and the like. So I am hopeful. Thank you.
Yay, happy birthday to us. Happy birthday, woohoo.